and welcome to your weekly reading. I'm Katie VanZeeland, and the reading is for the week of March 9th through the 15th, 2020. This week, our message is discernment, using discernment. This is a very important tool, way to live life by. It's very important to use discernment. And so sorry, there's just so much. So this is just key right now. Where are you leaking energy? Where are you spending time or wasting time, or that isn't feeding your soul, isn't filling your soul? What relationships do you have that are just pulling and draining on you versus filling you and you're in the flow with? What situations do you put yourself in because you think you should or shouldn't, or you're being pulled to do because you have to? Can we start to look at these things? It's time to start cleaning up our energy. It's getting more and more detrimental, and that is the word that I was hearing, and it seems strong to me, but I'm using it because that's what I'm being shared or told to use, so I'm going to use it. It is getting more and more detrimental to use discernment. It's time to clean up our lives, our relationships with ourselves, with others, the situations we put ourselves in. We no longer have to live in this old way of thinking we have to do things a certain way. We get so lost and stuck in conditioned beliefs of how it's been done in the past, how you should be doing it, how your family did it, how everyone else is doing it. That does not matter. It does not matter what everyone else is doing. What matters is what works for you. What makes you feel at peace? What makes you feel filled up? What makes you feel in alignment with your truth, joy, your bliss? You're following that bliss, that feeling of high vibration. And I'm not talking where you're just out of control, like blissful. That would be not healthy either. That is more manic. There's a difference between manic and following your bliss. There's a peace, there's a calm to the bliss. It might be really exciting and joyful, but it's not manic. And it's really time to use discernment as to where you're placing your energy, who you're placing your energy into, where you're expending your energy. We cannot afford to leak any more of our energy because we think we should, or we have to, or we have these expectations or these illusions that we're trying to uphold for everyone else, for our world, for our society, for our family, for our friends, and for the lies we tell ourselves, actually. So it's so important to use discernment. So this week, let's take a look. Take a look at the relationships where you're leaking energy, that aren't filling you, that are just draining you. Let's take a look at situations. Use discernment before you say yes or before you say no. Use discernment. What is going to nurture your soul? What feels right to you? We cannot afford to be wasting our energy and living in this place of expectation and responsibilities that are holding you trapped in a low vibration. It's detrimental at this point. It's all energy. And if we're wasting it on these things that are not feeding us, but only draining us, these things that are, we're trying to uphold some illusion, it's a waste of energy. And it's becoming detrimental to our health. And we can't afford that right now. We really need to do all the things we can to nourish and sustain and build and fill our energy and ourselves. And from that space, then we'll be able to sustain and maintain a high vibration, a healthy vibration, a full vibration, which will only help others around us. But we have got to start to do that, where we are using discernment as to where we are leaking our energy, where we are compromising our truth. Where are you compromising your truth? We can't afford to do it anymore. You're seeing that. You're seeing that in our world. We need all the support and energy and that we can possibly give to protect and fulfill ourselves, so that we can sustain and be healthy. And okay. So discernment, discernment, discernment. Stop, take a breath before you commit to something or say no to something, or just second guess, like, wait a minute, do I really need to be doing this? Do I really need to be putting energy into this relationship, this situation, this belief system? It even comes down to use discernment into what you're believing or what you're being told, right? What are you being told? That's great. Maybe 90% of the population believes it and is thinking it, but use your own discernment. We've got to get still and listen to what we're hearing within, not what we're hearing from all the externals. Use discernment, use discernment, use discernment. You know in your heart the truth, okay? So we have got to start to cultivate that relationship with our truth that's from that pure place, that clear space. But we have got to start using discernment as to clear off the things that are fogging us, that are wasting our energy, that are spinning us off into things that we don't need to be putting our time and energy into. It's going to clear up space, time, and energy for you that you need right now, okay? So let's practice that. All right, so, and there is a super full moon tomorrow, Monday, which is amazing. It's a beautiful setup for us to come to completion with some of these things, to really come into these higher vibrations that, with relationships, with situations where we're putting our energy. So the full moon energy completely is in alignment with the message of discernment, and it's really important to start to tune into that, okay? The full moon could be very intense for you. It's the full moon, super full moon, which means it's going to appear bigger and it's closer. So you might feel the intensity of the full moon a little more than normal. So if you're already sensitive, just be mindful that you might be even a little more sensitive to what this full moon is bringing to light, right? Because a lot of times, or most of the time, or all the time, the full moon, like this time, it brings a lot of these things that you've maybe kept in the shadows or been able to kind of put off to the side. It brings them to light. You're able to see them, which is an amazing gift, but it can also be like, oh crap, yes, that's there. So just be sweet to yourself, notice it, and acknowledge the gift of having it being brought to light, and try not to take it too seriously, but breathe through it, and know that any intense feelings will pass. Okay. All right. So let's pull a card from the crystal deck to see if anyone wants to play with a crystal this week. Ooh. Celestite. Yes. Underlying strength, personal growth, and communication. How beautiful is that, right? Using discernment, we might need to be communicating some things differently when we're using discernment. It's all for your personal growth, which is only going to help the whole. And it kind of brings this underlying strength. Also, Celestite connects us with spirit. It's a high vibrational angelic crystal. And it's a beautiful crystal. I really invite you to play with it and just see what your experience is with it, if you feel guided and led to. Okay. I hope you have an amazing week. Enjoy the beautiful, beautiful full moon and the energy of it. And use discernment this week. I look forward to connecting with you next week.